Hi everyone, welcome to my series of ClickUp tutorials. In this episode, we're finally getting to know the single most important element of ClickUp, namely task, in more detail. A task is the basic unit of work in the tool, and it can be pretty much anything you want. A project, customer order, marketing campaign, or a personal shopping list. In this video, I'll present some of the basic features of the task and explain how to make the most out of the task functionalities. Let's go directly into ClickUp, where showing different task features is easy to do. Whenever you need to work on a specific task in ClickUp, just select it from the list and it opens up the basic task details for viewing and editing. To start with the generic task layout, all of the items on the left side pane are for organizing the work and storing information. You have the title and the generic description of the task, who the task is assigned to and its status, subtasks, and scrolling down, you'll see the checklists and the attachments. I will talk about all of these in more detail later on in this video. The right-hand side is reserved for interaction, as it shows the activity log or history of who has done what in the task, as well as all of the comments. You'll also have time and duration features on the top, where you can set time estimates, start and due dates, and time tracking. Let's focus more on the left-hand side of the task pane. The topmost menu shows where the task is located. You can move it to another location in ClickUp, and the plus sign next to the Move button is very handy, as it allows you to add the task to another list. This is how you can share work across multiple areas in ClickUp without having to create multiple tasks for it. One step below, you'll have the status displayed. ClickUp has a few default status levels defined, but you can customize your own if needed. Next to this feature, you'll have one or multiple persons assigned to the task. And this is how people see what work they are supposed to complete in ClickUp. If you've enabled the tag feature in ClickUp, you'll be able to add, remove, or create new tags. Next to tags, you can set up dependencies if this task is related or linked to another and you want to manage them together. The task name and description are pretty straightforward features, so I'll jump straight over those and scroll down to explain the to-do section. This is where you manage subtasks and checklists. You don't have to use either of these, but I've found them extremely useful in managing work efficiently in a task. Each subtask acts exactly like a task would, so you can assign responsibilities, set deadlines, add descriptions, and do much more in the subtask level. Checklist is a more limited functionality and meant for quick checks, as the name suggests. Finally, attachments allow you to store any files within the task. I find this particularly useful when collaborating with people and sharing information such as specifications, presentations, and any other material that is referred to or used frequently when working with the task at hand. Let's move to the right-hand pane in the task. We'll start with the top menu first. Here you'll see everything time-related, when the task was created, how much time is clocked in for the task, time estimate, as well as start and due dates. ClickUp has a great intuitive time recognition for time estimates, so you don't need to enter data in a certain format. Just start typing and the system will recognize the format. Next to the time features, you see an eye element in blue color. If you're not an active participant in the task, but still like to keep track of what is happening, or add someone else in that role to the task, just add them as a watcher. This means that they can receive automatic updates about the task progress. Scrolling down, the large gray area is the activity log where task history as well as any comments and conversations appear. If you want to add a comment, simply type the text in the comment box below and click on the comment button. You can also assign comments to people, mention comments or tasks, attach files, and do many more other activities with the comments. Next to the other features, there is also a blue envelope sign. This is how you can send email from ClickUp to anyone. Just link your email account to ClickUp first so that the emails have the sender information. Based on my experience using ClickUp, there are a few tips that I would recommend to consider when working with tasks. As you saw on the previous demo, ClickUp has a whole variety of different task functionalities, and for a beginner, the amount of options can quickly become too much to handle. When introducing ClickUp to a new team or a company, start small and take only the few key features into use so that people can concentrate on getting to know the tool and use it correctly. You can always expand the use later on. Then, once you start using ClickUp, the space gets quickly filled with tens or even hundreds of tasks. Of course, this is a continuous flow of incoming new tasks and outgoing completed tasks that get archived. But to manage this flow efficiently, task names are absolutely key, especially when work is done in groups involving several people. Avoid abbreviations in task names unless they are widely known by everyone, and don't put too generic and short titles as you may quickly end up having multiple tasks with identical names. As an example, a task called Website Update can mean anything from changing a page title to doing a technical refresh, so people cannot recognize work when looking at the task name in the lists, and the search function gets overcrowded with similar titles, frustrating everyone in the process. Task descriptions are another minefield, and I confess to having used this feature incorrectly in the past. It's so easy to write random updates in the description area, but please reserve this space purely for the generic information needed for the overall understanding of what the task is about. If you need to assign and track work in more detail, use subtasks and set up responsible for each of them. Then ask these people to update subtasks accordingly. If you need an update of the progress, use ClickUp features designed specifically for this purpose. The default task status is great for simple tasks, and there is an automatic progress calculator which is updated based on subtask completion. If you need to label tasks, I always recommend using tags generously, as they are separate from other ClickUp structures and easy to add and remove. You can also create views based on tags. A great example of a tag could be October release, which means that even though individual tasks across different spaces and other levels might not have anything else common, they are all grouped and tracked because they have the same release deadline. Using lists for this purpose is also an option, but then you'll need to create a list first for each label, then add tasks to each of those lists separately, which can quickly become a lot of extra work. And while using custom fields is a tempting option for storing information, remember that they quickly add up. Generally, people aren't big fans of entering and updating lots of data, especially if those have little or no relation to their job at hand. So resist the urge to start creating custom fields unless they serve a very important purpose. Finally, assigning owners to each task is essential in getting them done. Don't leave tasks unassigned, as then they won't show up on anyone's personal to-do list. And although ClickUp allows to assign multiple people to a single task, I strongly recommend to avoid doing that because shared responsibility may end up being no one's responsibility. It's better to split the task into smaller pieces and assign an owner for each of the subtasks.